What's going on, everyone? Welcome to Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks. It is Thursday night, 2 minutes to 8, but we'll call it 8 p.m. Thank you for everyone popping in. Looks like we got audio. Hope we got good picture. Let me know. Let's see who we got in the chat here. We got Darren Plank. What's going on? Ray Shea, Todd Keys, Selena Studios, Jonathan Parsons, Brian Moore, David. What's going on? How we doing, everyone? We got a few guys in. Let's see what we got here. Let me pop in here and I can see the chat a little easier on that end. Very cool. Yep. There we go. Cool. All right. What do we got? What do we got? Awesome. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all that fun stuff. Good. Good sounds. Awesome. Thank you, David, for that. Good. Making sure we're all good. That is what we want. All right. Hope everyone's having a good week. And yeah, just getting back into the swing of things. We hope everyone had a good Thanksgiving and all of that. And we ended up with the turkey beforehand, and that was a fun project. How's the new switch? New switcher's working good, man. New switcher's working good. Let's go to the far cam. So, yep, as you can see, I've actually done a little bit more. Black Friday deal. They had a nice MacBook Air special at Best Buy. So I could basically have a backup computer here. The main one's in the back, but this one I can just do some extra stuff here. So I don't have to keep getting up out of the chair. It just gives me a little bit more freedom. But you can see, cleaned up the studio even more, and I got all my sources and stuff like that. So that's how the whole system works. I control here. I have sound effects and all that stuff here. Videos here. And everything's up there so I can see it. And then I can see your chat up here. So that's what's happening. Gary Shees, what's going on? Thank you for popping in. Yeah. So yeah, that's the teleprompter that's right in front of me. So I just see myself all over the place. And in front of me here, there's another big TV that shows me what you're seeing. So yeah. And what do we got going on? Oh, I got this cam. Might as well use it. Should probably have done this because you don't really care about this shit. Let's go here. I'm just going to bend that. There we go. Make this the down cam. Yeah. Let's do that. How's that? So we got our paint mixed up here. Oh, we got tape underneath it. It's messing me up from moving it. Hope I don't spill. In my little medicine cup holder. So I'll show you what we got mixed up here. I got some opaques and some transparents. Of course, I strain them all through my little strainer holders, which they just work out good. Nice and easy. So I have basically what I took. I didn't have the green I wanted. So I took the limelight green and then added this viridian green to it and made this kind of a nice mid-tone. This is the frog juice, so it's a transparent green. This I mixed up a yellow and the frog juice, so it's more of like, I didn't want like a fluorescent, more of a lime green. Then I got a pure red. I got a black mixed with green, and then a pure white. And then of course I got my, mixed colors here that are all mixed up from last time. And yeah, we got all the stuff ready. You can see I gotta clean this shot up because, I think I'll reposition this camera so it's a little bit more focused here and less on the mess. That's the mess over there. All right, let's see what we got here. Swamp Picker. That's a great name. Mike. Cool. Thank you for popping in. Said don't forget to like, share, and subscribe and all that stuff. And while I got you here, as well, give a shout out, thank you to all my Down and Dirty Tricksters. And don't forget, you guys always get 25% off everything using your code down in. I'm not going to say the code. The code is for members. Duh. But the Down and Dirty Tricksters all get their codes here. And thank you everyone for popping in there. Thank you. What else we got going on here? And yep, those are the Strainits things that I've been using. A lot of you guys grabbed them during the Black Friday deals and Cyber Monday, so thank you for that. I think everything got shipped out on for Tuesday, so I think mostly everyone should have it. So you guys who did order them, let me know what you think. And if there's any changes or improvements you'd like to do in the future, or other options, because they will make them as well. But they do come in rather handy. All right, let's go back. We got our reference image there. So this is what we're doing. Brian, was it you? I forget who it was. Let me pop in here. I gotta move. There we go. So I'm not blocked. So I put up a post earlier. Let's see who came up with that. Because there's some great ideas. There's some awesome ideas. And brain fog. Here we go. Trying to get to it here. All right, I put up a post earlier, which I'll go here. That will be a fun winter Christmas theme project. We got some great comments. Krampus, that was definitely a high consideration. Another Krampus, Evil Jack, Santa with a skull face, the Grinch, Santa flying on a chrome flame sleigh, cool. Scrooge, everybody does a Scrooge would be a fun one. A lot of these, they're great ideas. I just wouldn't be able to pull them off at that time. Melting Snowman, Revealing, Ron say that's awesome. Sinister Skull, yep. 30 years of being in business, and then Jeff Mikuletsky did. That was a cool image. That would have been fun, but I don't. Again, that's something I would like to do, but I would want to give it time. I don't want to copy someone else's design. Pissed Off Grinch, I've done that before. I think I did it last year in Elf. HotRod version of Santa's Sleigh, the Sleigh Miser. Sexy Mrs. Claus, yeah, thought about that. Reindeer, another Krampus. Burgermeister, yeah, that'd be cool. Another Krampus. I think Krampus is going to have to be done before. The Zombie Reindeer, that was a great idea. Ghost of Christmas Anything. And someone did say a flying eyeball. Did they take it off? Oh, yeah. Tyler Kearns. Santa with a skull face and beard, a flying eyeball with a Santa hat. So I took that one. I did like that. And then someone said, oh, we're going to wing it. Get it? Wing it. So, yeah. So it's very cool. Mr. Leahy. Yes, Boston is your home. Always will be, brother. All right. So let's talk about this. You know what? I think I'm going to lighten up this a little shot. How's that? That's better. Let's do that. All right. And so this may look familiar. I've done this eyeball. Me and Rhino did a version of this eyeball way back in the day. So what I did is I took that idea and basically just tweaked it and changed it, put a hat on it, made it something fun. And then you can see the sketch itself is the whole thing, but I want it bigger on the panel. And this is a 9x12 aluminum panel. And I figured it'd be cool to just have the wings kind of go off. And that way I have a bigger centerpiece. You don't always have to have the entire image in the frame. I think it gives it a little bit more character that the wings are bigger than the painting. It just gives it a little something extra. And I did it ahead of time. You guys have seen it a million times. I didn't feel like I needed to do it. I did the paper transfer using a 6B pencil and just transferred the image to it. But I'm going to do something a little different tonight. I want to freehand most of it, but I want to blast the background pretty heavy first. So what I'm going to do, and you can do this with transfer tape or something that's kind of transparent. I like to use the gold tape or the gold mask, or you can use any of that, KUTG gold, anything like this. They have different wide versions of it. But the cool thing about this and all other rice tapes is you can see through it when you put it on. So I'm going to use this and just do a quick hand cut mask. And these sheets, these are basically sized for cricket or hobby size. These are 9x12. They're actually more like 9x13, I think. Yeah, they're a little bit bigger. and they're perfect size. So basically, I'm going to use this. I'm going to apply this just like I would normal vinyl. And I'm going to do a hinge. I could just pull it off and do it, but I'll do a hinge technique so it's easier. But you can also get away with like paper transfer tape if it's transparent enough. You should probably be able to get away with it. So yeah, let's see here. So look, this stuff pulls back nice. Just roll it back. I'm going to take my hinge. I'm just going to pull that off like this. Take a vinyl squeegee. Just stick that on there. Pull the hinge off. And so this is the cool thing. What I like about this, you could put this down first, draw on this, and then cut it. But I like the ability to draw it on the surface and then put the mask on. That way, as I peel sections out, the drawing is still underneath, which I think works out very cool. So now what I can do, and I can decide to cut more or less if I want. And obviously my paper cut, if I do a paper cut, it'll hold up. So it kind of gives you kind of the best of both, you know. And I'm all about, you know, more than one way to kind of skin a cat. Not that you should ever skin cats. Sorry. Sorry to all my cat lovers. Okay. So first things first, what I'm going to do is I want to do the background and just kind of blast some color, some texture and things like that. And then I think I'm just going to freehand the rest. Or maybe I'll put the red in the eye in the hat. Yeah, I probably won't do that. So the cool thing is now I can see through it. And when I pull this away, I'm still going to have my lines. And by doing this, I'm going to have a really crisp background. And then what I'm going to be able to do is freehand the rest, soften it up, and it won't have an overly stenciled look, but it'll have a nice clean separation. Okay. Let me see. Oh, that angle is not very focused or bright, is it? Hold on a second, guys. I think we should get that a little better. Oops, no. Yeah, that one's... Sorry about that. I thought I had this one set. I guess I really didn't. So I don't think I'm going to use that angle much, because it looks grainy. Let's go back to here. I'm going to pull this just to the side. Something just happened on my computer over here, and I don't know what that was. Nope, okay, good. Weird. Gotta love tech. Who just showed up? Michael McClung, what's going on? Come on. All right, so I cut you. That's always the trick, is when you're cutting. I try to stay on the same path so I don't forget where I am. And cutting is its own art form. So I developed kind of a pinstripe technique where I roll the knife around like this. I use my pinky as a guide, especially for long, like this, long cuts, because I can come in. I can roll around like that. I'll go here. Like I said, I'm just cutting the silhouette. Oops. Into you. And this doesn't matter if it's like perfect, because I'm going to be, remember, we're going to be black outlining. Well, not really black. I'm going to be doing like a dark green outline. So if it's a little off, It's going to be fine. Really windy tonight outside. We got a cold day coming tomorrow. We're going to be down in the single digits tomorrow. I think they say we're going to be at 5 or 7 degrees tomorrow. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold. Did you? This stuff cuts so easy and clean. Sometimes it's hard to know where you cut, so you try to remember, or you just go by feel. Oops. I came across here. Good. There. Just spinning, moving the blade around. This should probably be the most tedious, longest part of the process. I'm just going to have fun and freehand away. But by doing it this way, I'm going to get a nice, clean background. I was trying to think of like a color to do back here. I didn't mix up any. Oh no, that's not here. Okay, good. I'm just gonna go here. Any suggestion on color for the background? Maybe I'll mix something up quick. Like, should I do a sky? Like a sky blue type of deal? Or should I just stay with within the green family? What do you guys think? Should I do a color? Let me know. Don't know why. My teleprompter monitor keeps disconnecting. Oh, I gotta go here too. Yeah, maybe I'll do blue. I don't want to do flames. I don't want to do, you know, I don't want to do anything complicated in the back. You know, I just want a simple background. Flames be too busy, I think. If it was a bigger panel, you could probably get away with some flames. Oops, I missed that cut. The nice thing about this rice paper tape here, this style tape, it cuts so damn easy. Like, it takes no pressure to cut it. Yep, see, I didn't cut there either. There we go. Sponge it. That's not a horrible idea. I might do a texture. I just don't know what color family to do. So, and you guys catch the Coast live at 4 for more. It's a new thing Dave's going to be doing, a weekly thing. This is going to be cool. I caught a little bit of it, but I was prepping for this, so I didn't have time to get too involved in it. Good there. Oh, shit. Did I miss anything? No. Good, we're good, we're good. Oh, there is right here. All right. Purple grunge. Ooh, purple grunge. My only worry is when I go with the green over the purple, like if I shade freehand, I might get a little messy. Wish they would make a mini handheld laser that would do the job of cutting. What would be the point of that? The knife, just gonna go with the knife, it's easier. I have a laser cutter, and the time it takes to dial lasers in to cut certain depths, wouldn't be worth it. But we could always plot something like this pretty easy. Let's see. Color, color, color. What do I have here? Let me turn the rotisserie on. Yeah, let's do a blue, maybe grungy texture, spongy look. All right, let's drop the dark blue. Might just go light blue. Okay. We're just going to take Wicked Opaque. Let's see if we can run that straight through a strainer. Just this bottle's been kicking around for probably 2 years. So let's just give it a little insurance to strain. That might be too thick to strain. And get a brush here. Sometimes you can just take a brush like this and do that. And I'll run it through. Yeah, this is the Wicked Daylight Opaque Blue. Let's just run it through the strainer directly into the brush at full strength for coverage and opacity. And while that's working, I'm going to set up a light blue. Let's do this. So you can see what I'm doing over here. Let's take the darker blue. We're going to mix that. I'm going to take the reducer. And get that reduced. Oh, he's getting up and down out of the chair. And what we'll do is we'll strain that, Bubby. tuck underneath, strainer in, and we'll just get that going. All right. We'll use little Gerald Mendez details. Actually, yeah. Just do a little fun here. I'm doing a don't strain the brain. It'll give it almost a cloud-like feel. Nothing crazy, just with stuff like this, don't overthink it. Give you a little random with it. And while I was doing that, this got strained. Oops. And that's ready. You can see there's a little chunkiness in there. Now, we can just do a quick clean out. Put the water into my bucket under there. And now we'll take the darker color, put this in. And let's go. So what I'm going to do is just like a drop shadow. Basically under the whole thing, give it a little lift. Basically I'm just following the shape. It's a little bit bigger. Top down light source. So I'm kind of top down, it's casting a shadow underneath, like here. Keeping it heavier at the bottom than the top. The plan is to get this done tonight. We only got a few more weeks. So probably get maybe 2 more paintings or 1 more painting in by the end of the year. And this year is over. Like, it doesn't have to be anything crazy, just simple. And if this was on a car or motorcycle, you'd obviously plan out like a transition so it could just go into nothing. This is true. Man, this year did go fast, dude. And by next year, man, we got some stuff going next year. We definitely got some stuff going next year. We got a big project coming up that we just received the paint from today. And we're going to be showcasing that maybe by tomorrow or Monday. It's a big project, about 50 feet by 20 feet. Now I'll talk more about it soon. I'm trying to get my monitor to connect and it's not cooperating. Try one more time. If not, oh well. There we go. That's a pretty nifty paint strainer. Yeah, it just works. It's something simple. It's not anything crazy. I didn't reinvent the wheel. It was just, I got tired of holding, my metal strainers that I make, or, those, the really fine plastic ones. Yeah, where are they? Don't know. They're somewhere. So, yeah, made a little thing. They're available. They're cool. People like them. Oh, yeah, Mike, it's going to be a big project. So, I think it's going to be like a 2-week project down in North Carolina. House of Color just came on board with that. So, we're going to be working with them on that project. So, I'll keep you all posted when that happens. All right. Let's just freehand this. So, I'm just going to now pull this off. So now I got a nice, clean, crisp background. If I can get that, I wasn't supposed to cut there, that's why. So the one thing about the gold, it comes off easy. If you have a base-coated surface, it comes off really easy. For some reason, these E-coated panels are so smooth that it doesn't have a hard time coming off. Like it doesn't leave any residue or anything. It just, just really, it's such a smooth surface, it just sticks. So it does tear up a little bit, taking it off more than the vinyl. But the vinyl you can't see through. Unless you use, I could have used the green. And they do make the green in those same sheets. But it takes 2 seconds to get it all off. And these rolls are pretty old. I've had them for a long time. Okay. Oh yeah, if anyone is interested in those, where is my store link? There's the strainers. They come with or without the actual metal strainers. The metal strainer you can make yourself. I have a how-to video on it. You can make them really cheap. They pretty much cost nothing by the time you're done. And so you can buy the holder by itself, or you can buy it. It comes with some medicine cups, and it comes with the strainer and some extra brass fittings, like a half dozen of them. So those are available. And of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out at any of my socials. Oh, and before I forget, let's talk about the International Airbrush Days coming up next May. Like going through my year, I know February, I'm like a week or two on that big project. And then March, I'll be doing Adepticon in Milwaukee for tabletop minis and gaming. So we're going to be out there. If any of you guys are into that, we'll be teaching classes there. So keep an eye on the schedule when that launches. We have everything set and go for approval. And then basically Adepticon works is they announce the classes, they open up the availability to sign up for the classes. And last year, 3 of my classes sold out in 35 minutes. And then the other one sold out in like 3 hours. So you basically have a few hours to get into the classes. That's for Adepticon. So if you're in the tabletop gaming and minis, we got that coming up. And then it hasn't been fully announced. He's talked about it. So we're going to be doing the Rendezvous, which is going to be like the week after that, early April. And then end of April into May, I'm going to be in Germany here at the International Airbrush Days with Rod Fuchs, David Naylor, Milana Woganeg, I'll pronounce that really wrong. Marissa, and oof, I'm going to really pronounce. I have to hear her name before I pronounce it. I don't want to butcher it. So we got that coming up. So I got a busy year coming up from there. So yeah. All right. We got anything else going on? Yeah. Oh man, the house color. Yeah, the paint stack we got today was, the order is pretty big. It's a lot of paint. It's we got a small pallet delivered, and there's still some more to come, so it's going to be a big one. All right, let's see how my multicam looks. That looks pretty cool. Let's do that. I did a little red background on some snowflakes for the holidays, and then we can put up my reference image here and hide my face. All right, so let's go to town here. I'm going to bring up my Takumi Eclipse here, which I love this thing. And the only thing different I did is I put the double cutaway handle. They normally come with a regular handle, but I like the cutaway. I just like the look of it. So we get that. I got the pressure up pretty high. Let's knock that back down. Cool. Oh, so something just happened. Not happened, but I just noticed my vent cap wasn't clean. So it looks normal, but if you go past light through it, no light comes through it, which means it's not going to breathe. One thing about airbrushes everyone overlooks when they don't spray right is this little hole here, this vent. Okay, always make sure that's clean. If you don't, you won't get good paint flow because air won't come into the cup. You need that air changeover. All right, so let's start. This is an opaque green. I'm going to start kind of like the concept sketch. I'm going to start with this opaque green and just see. I don't know if it's going to work. I haven't tested it. Well, it's not too opaque. I might have to actually go with the dark first. Let's see. I'm going to start with the wing here. Yeah, we'll start mapping it out. So yeah, so if you look at the sketch, you can see what I'm doing. I'm just going to start with the basic lines. So for this, I'm just keeping it really simple, more of a freehand style, more old school. I'm just going to start blocking in some of the heavy areas. There's nothing fancy about these techniques other than, that little bit of simple masking and then freehand control. But if you notice what I'm doing, they're just long, extended rat tails. I haven't seen a chat for a little bit, so guys, let me know if anything's happening with the chat or if everyone's just being quiet. Because the chat seemed to have gone dead. So let me know. But it looks like it's working fine. And just see if everything's live. Yep. Okay. Good. Everyone's just being quiet. That's fine. I don't want to talk to you anyway. So basically what I'm starting is testing. Yeah, Gary's got it. Yep. There's always a question about dark to light, light to dark. And that's a mindset for a lot of illustrations and paintings, and it works with fire. But sometimes when you're in these, it doesn't really matter. But my thing is, I usually, and I've said this a lot, is I kind of start in the mids. If I start in the mid-tone colors, like, and I can be a little messy here. This is not super refined. This is not micro work, and that's why I'm not using a micron. I have a nice heavy body paint that I'm putting down for high coverage. I am going to grab some stencils here. Let's grab a big wave. Let's grab the big wave. And grab my pocket graphics here. Got to have pocket graphics. And that way, if I want, when I go to the darker, that's when I can start carving like this. I can start taking the stencil and I can carve harder edges like this. Like, watch. See, now I made that crisper. See this right here? Now, if I want to drop shadow it, I can kind of find that curve like this. Come off it. And just... I'm going to do a lot more of that later, but you can see you can really kind of come in later and make things crisper. But I don't want to do that too early because I'm really just trying right now to get a loose. I still like that loose to tight. What I miss? Hey, Mascot and friends. Oh, that's awesome, man. Family first. I mean, focus on what you're doing, watching and listening. Oh, Pasher, man, what's going on? Haven't talked to you in a bit. Hope all things are well. If you guys don't know, Pasher is amazing. Airbrush artist, body painter, general good guy, designer. I had the pleasure of working with him back in the getaway days. I think that's when we first met. Oh, that's awesome. So yeah, I just, I wanted to do, like, someone had the idea, I think it was Tyler Kearns, and that kind of, I wanted to start December with a little Christmassy holiday feel. So we're doing a flying eyeball with a hat. Always chasing deadlines, man. Always chasing deadlines. I'm already looking at next year. My first half of the year till June's already pretty much spoken for with, I think I'm on the road 5 weeks. And I haven't done that in a few years, man. I haven't been like that since COVID, so... still travel, but not as much. So it'll be interesting. But I'm happy. It'll be a good year. I'm not going to do a lot of reds here. I just want to make the reds like in the, the eye itself. So that's going to be the hat. I'm going to keep that. I'm going to keep the eye. Where is... Maybe use my pyro, or can this... Oh yeah, that'll be good for the round. But, these always just come in handy. Just simple shapes. And I got some other greens to mix in. This is what's your busiest time of year? Halloween? No, mine. So it depends what I'm doing. So winter is my busiest time of the year for motorcycles and car work because because I'm in a colder climate. That's about the time everyone doesn't mind their bikes being taken down. and getting work done. So that's kind of my busiest time overall. Halloween, I don't do too much. We usually, the only thing that's busy about that time of year is getting ready for SEMA and Las Vegas and those shows. I get busier right after the holidays, and then the mad rush for spring is kind of the big area for us because everyone wants their bikes done and they want things back on the road. So we get a little busier then. But like next year, I have a lot of trips, so it'll be an interesting year. I think it's going to be pretty busy all year. The nice thing is summer is usually my slowest time, so I kind of get to enjoy the summer a bit, which is nice. Use this guy here, the Michael Casey. These stencils, man, you just kind of find the right curve. Where'd I go? There we go. You keep everything in line like that. Like, I don't know how this is going to come out. It's a cool design, but we're just going to see. We're just going to see what happens. Got to keep that curve. There we go. That's one. Because I got the tail kind of coming through. Pash, if you're still on, feel free to put up a links. If you're still doing some of those drawing nights, because those are a blast, man. I had a great time hanging out with that. Pasher is an amazing teacher as well. General airbrush, art, design, not just body paint. That's the one thing. It's funny how I wonder if Pash feels the same way. As an airbrush artist, we seem to get more so than other designers, and it might just be me, my feel on it is we seem to get lumped in by, oh, he's a motorcycle painter, or he's a body painter, or he's a t-shirt artist. There's always like a qualifier, and it's funny. It's like, no, I mean, I airbrush these things, but I'm an artist in general. Yeah, next year, the first 6 months is going to be a blur because it's already shaping up. Like, one of it's going to be literally 2 weeks back to back. I'm going to be in Milwaukee for a week, and then I'm home for like 2 days. Then I'll be in California for a week. Then I'm home for 2 weeks, and then I'm going to Germany. So that's going to be a lot. All right, so now that kind of mid is in there, stereotype. Yeah, no, it happens. We all get kind of pigeonholed in like he's a this, he's a that, and some of it's our own fault because we either make a name for ourselves in a certain industry. But I was talking with a client today, and I did work from 20-something years ago, and I'm doing some work for him again, and we started talking about like then to now, and I'm going to do this one thing for him, but then we're going to do like a fine art piece, illustration, canvas, which is great because it's, we just got to talking about how the motorcycles last a few years and then they're kind of gone, a lot of times, and very few customers keep them long term, and they just kind of end up somewhere. It's funny because he had the tailgate I did for him 20 years ago, and that's kind of what sparked it. That only a handful of customers keep those pieces for that long. Oh, Tyler, man, thank you. Yeah, that was a great idea. And I talked about it earlier. If you'll go back at the beginning, I talk about how I went through all the things, and this one just stuck, man. It just stuck. All right, so I'm gonna put that color back. So that was a semi-opaque. Tyler, I think we first met at the circus, right, man? Tyler took my class. Tyler's a really good striper. I'm a letterer, artist, designer. You're required to be the high bidder. I know this time of year gets tough because everyone's got gifts to buy and things like that. So this is a lighter green. I'm just gonna kind of shade in here and make it a little greener. And maybe we'll take one of. Oh yeah. We'll take one of these, one of the mini textures, and we'll get a little bit of texture in here. Yeah, that'll be cool. Don't do it, Tyler. Yeah, Tyler, do it. I'm just messing with you. Don't feel pressured. Just because you made me paint this image, you know. All right, so that's the frog juice. I'm gonna bring that color back in, I think, as a shader. But this is like a lime gold, lime yellow, transparent. And then I'll make it super bright. Yeah. There we go. This is more yellowy. I'm glad I did the blue, because the blue's nice because it gives you a little buffer. Wait, was it the circus in Florida? I think was it Florida or Arizona? So I think you did 2 with me, right? Or you did 2. I don't know if they were both with me, but I know you were at a couple events. Tyler's opening the bid at 100. That's awesome. Thank you, Tyler. Don't feel pressured, though. Okay, 100. Thank you, sir. Much appreciated. I'll give you a little bam. And you know what? Let's do. I want to clean up that edge before I put the red. So let's do a little. We'll do a little erasing. Ooh, that's loud. But you can see now, it's like I can go in. Do that. We can bring that highlight out there. Again, this is all a good time to do this before we get too much paint down. That's what's nice about working on a cleared or, white surface, because you can go in and do these things. And I'm going to soften them up. They won't look this harsh. But great for feathers. Well, it's a little, yeah, it's a little thick there. So I'm not going to do too much here. Let's do... Where'd the knife go? Ooh, sorry. Just making noise over here. There we go. There we go. Yeah, man. For sure. So I'm going to use, I think, like I said before, the rounded number 12 blades. I think they're 12s. Because you can get a bigger, smoother cut than using like the number 11s. The number 11s are almost too sharp. The other thing I bought, and I'm going to try that as well, something new, is I've used Posca markers in the past, but Sharpie came out with like a acrylic paint marker. I'm going to give them a shot, see how they work. But I kind of want to do them early and soften those. You know, I'm going to soften those up with... I'm not happy. Not that happy with those. Let's take my opaque white. Yeah. So that's something I learned from Rhino. We were doing American flags and doing the stitching. So when you're doing stitching on American flags, these work much better for doing like hair and stuff because they're rounded and you can get a wider cut and they don't dig into the substrate as deep and fine. And if you want, you can flick the blade and use the tip versus, you know, the regular number 11. So definitely experiment. I like these rounded ones. I always keep a box of them just for that reason. All right, I don't really like the way these are a little too crisp. I want to soften them up before I get too far. And then I'll bring in the paint markers later. Yeah, too much, too bright. I was just messing around with something and didn't work out. But the big thing, and I've learned that by doing live, I actually panic less now, is I wasn't happy with it, but panicking about it's not going to solve the problem. So you just work through it. Just work through it. I can use this time to kind of play with some shading. We can even some of this out. This is just opaque white. I'd rather bring this heavy white in now than try to bring it in later. My paint never scrapes off that easy. So if it's not scraping off that easy, it's probably because you're putting too much down too fast. There is a certain point where once you get too much paint down, you really can't scrape it very easily. Just FYI. And a lot of it is technique. Like you have to just, it's a clean swipe and deep. You know, so yeah. It can be a little frustrating. Get that back in center frame. What's my board? My board feels crooked. I don't know why. All right, let me go back. Let me go back to this darker green for a sec before I do the red. Yeah, wasn't happy. Just wasn't happy. I'm going to tone that back out. If anything, it'll give me some guidelines for later. Oh yeah, just that little. Yeah, man, you can't beat textures. You gotta love a little, just little texture. Because even if it's almost gone at the end, it's still under there. Okay. All right, I want to get the red in there, and for the red, it's gonna be tricky to keep super clean. So you know what I'm gonna do? We're gonna pull out. We're gonna push this back. And we're gonna take our paper and we're gonna cut. Oh, I already cut that one. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Where did I need to cut the same location, or I'm gonna run into a problem. So let's line this up. I want to make sure I cut the same location that I drew the lines. So yes, I could have plotted this. It would have taken me longer to do the vector for the plot than it would to just hand cut this. It's a one-time use thing. And that's and it's a very simple design, so there's no sense plotting it, in my opinion. Because really, I'm going to make a couple cuts. There we go. Really simple. I'll save the eyes. Because you don't want to get your red and green mixed too much. Because what happens when you do that? Yeah, so I want to kind of keep that transparent feel. So I want to just keep it. So I'm just going to keep it subtle. Here we go. Oh, that's got blue in it. This red is fairly opaque. Let's see here. Like, I'm really just trying to use it around the edge. I can freehand inside. But I don't want to put a lot down because I want to have that glossy and I want to be able to bring the color up as I go. So I can come in here And I can kind of freehand that a little bit. Let's see if that worked. And that's a little goofy here, so now we'll be able to freehand that. That's not a problem. Alright, but now I have enough where I could fill, and now I can come in here freehand, and we'll start doing the shadow for that. We'll come up here. Just keep it clean, but that blowing the red, it kept me from getting a lot of messy overspray where I didn't want it. And now for the eye. Let's see. We want his pupil. Right here, like that. We'll take Pocket Graphics and we'll give a little shadow reflection here. And then let's take a little, oh yeah, gotta love Gerald's this template for this. That same template I used here, there's a spiral right in the middle. I'm just gonna hit around the edge. So that little simple thing. I use an illustration. So I'm using, these are mostly Wicked Opaques. The Frog Juice here is an illustration color that I mixed with 4050. And then I did the same color mixed with illustration black and green together. So it's like a green black. So I use a mix of Wicked, like the white is a straight Wicked Opaque. And this is a Wicked Opaque. It's their two greens together. Oh, you know what? I think I want to put just a little, just a tip. It almost looks like a plant. Like when you get those, like the Christmas cactuses that go green to pink. We have some in the house. Just a little bit on the tip of the tail. How about that? Yeah, that's right. If you mix, if you're not careful, because it's opaque and a transparent, I didn't get too much, but it's a little bit of that purplish browny kind of not so good color when you mix the green together. But I'll be able to utilize that here as like a natural black. So I can block these in. All right. It's kind of cool. I can see it's really dirty here, but we're going to fix that. When would you use candy instead of illustrations? When you it's about the transparency, but when you want the color to intensify what's underneath, not just blend transparent overlays. Because when you use a candy, like if I put candy yellow over this, it won't just turn this green yellow and make everything pop up. And the candies I mostly use when I'm over metallics and pearls and stuff, so I can get that shift. But there is a time, like with fire and stuff, when you want the color underneath to pop with the transparency versus, because candies are translucent more than transparent, and all transparent colors semi take the. If you put like a blue transparent over a green, some of that blue is going to overpower the green. When you put a blue candy over the green, the blue doesn't really overpower the green. The green becomes a bluer tone of itself when you use a candy. So there is a unique difference on what does what. Pasha, thanks for popping in. It was great having you here. And let's catch up, man. Yeah, when you do fire, that's you know, you put, so the fire is a great thing when you put like those white yellows down. If you just put like yellow transparent on top of it, it just kind of gets yellower. But when you put yellow candy or golden candy, it makes the whites glow yellow and the oranges kind of melt with it. So yeah. All right. Now we're gonna take this. Basically, it's a green black. It's actually illustration moss green and illustration black mixed together. And let's see if we like it. There might be too black. Yeah, you know, I think I want it a little subtler, so I think I'm going to mix more green, but I do want this to be pretty dark. So I think this needs to be a little greener. So I think what I'm going to do is going to add some of the greens into this. I don't want it to be that dark that fast. So you got to remember, like sometimes when I'm doing these live feeds, I didn't pre-plan this a couple days before. I didn't kind of know where I was going with it. So you kind of get a more realistic feel for working out progress. Whereas some of the projects I plan out and I know the colors ahead of time. We know what it's going to be. I know how they're going to react. But this I'm playing with it as I go. All right, so that's a little better, a little greener, and I got to thin it down a little bit. We'll put some more 21 in here. You mean it's fun? Yeah, it's fun. You know, this is a creation. Like, look, I can put together how to, and many artists do, and I do as well, that are, I'm not saying dummy proof, but we basically make it so all the guesswork is done. We know what color first, what color second, what to do. But a lot of times you never, unless you're in an advanced class or like a one-on-one, you never really see that part of it, that process of it. No, I have not watched Predator Badlands. I liked the what was it? I've done Predators before. I did a Prey a couple years ago. That was really great. That was a great piece. I liked the cartoon. What was it? Killer of Killers or whatever it was. That was great. That was fun. All right, so see how now I have more control because it's not as black. I can shade more. That's what I was looking for. Because I can always add more black later. But I want to be able to control the color. That's why I don't use really heavy opaques when I do most paintings. I could even... Yeah, Killer of Killers was great. I love the story arc, and I think they're going to do a lot more with it, honestly. I think I still want this a little greener. No, what I was saying with classes and stuff, you know, those classes teach you airbrush control and how colors work together. But I'd say when you really start learning how to create a piece, is all that back end, like doing this color first or that color. And there's a whole kind of, I don't want to say science, it's not really, no, it is a science, but there's a whole process that you miss with certain the way certain guys teach, the way certain people teach, where it's you end up with a great painting, but I don't know how much you actually learned how to create the painting. Like, so yeah, it's more than just the end result. There's a lot of process that goes in. Get under here. This is that stage where I question things, and then I got a plan. Look, I can brighten this area up. I can kind of shadow this. This is the wing. This is the tail. So that's kind of here. I really wanted this to be a nice quick one too. Just tonight. It's not going to go in the next week. I have a lot of stuff to get done next week. It's looking a little, on screen it looks dirtier than it does in person. I'm not super. What's happening, Rob? Do a little shading there. Just still figuring out tones. Go like that. Separate here. Yeah, that wind is kicking up out there. Ah. Don't panic. Just keep swimming. Just going for work. Christmas tattoo time. Nice. Love Christmas tattoos. All right, now I think I can afford to get a little darker on this baby. So now I'm going to darken it up. We'll start going in for some more. Because this is going to have that kind of fun cartoony look. Let's get them black lines. Get that nice little shadow right there on the eye. Yeah, see how that starts to bring it out? And this is the type of thing when we bring in all the white highlights, it's really going to be cool. Or it's going to be horrible. And Tyler's not going to have to buy it. I don't think it's going to be that. But that is the artist's brain once in a while. You're like, oh, this is horrible. Don't like it. Don't like it. You're like, oh, I like it. No, I don't like it. No, I like it. I don't like it. I bet every artist here has that same voice in their head. Or it's just me. We need a big kind of reflection shadow. Oh, I wonder. Where'd my needle go? You don't have to be an artist to hear voices. Yes. The artist voices, though, can be really brutal. Oh, yeah. We all get through that. That is the trick. If anyone here decides they want to do live feeds, it's one thing you got to keep in mind. So you just got to keep going. And I learned that ability when I worked in the malls painting t-shirts. Yeah, you're in the middle of the mall, holiday season, people are watching. You know you have to readjust something and it's bothering you. No one else sees it. Unless you really mess up. I've had those. But that's why, man, I could not do tattoos. I like to be able to walk away. Even though my live feeds, I can't walk away. Most of my career, like if I don't like the way something's coming out, I can walk away. take a break. I'm trying to catch deer. Oh, it's that time of year. Every morning, my God. Oh yeah, yep. So this wing's in the background. That's going to be darker. Just like this, I'll push this one back. What is a Matthews Arc 34? Overworked, underpaid. Aren't we all, man? All right, so something I want to try before I do. Well, maybe I'll actually do this first. Oh, compound bow. Nice, nice, nice. I haven't shot a compound bow in a long time. I used to have a, well, back in the day, it was an amazing bow. And when I say back in the day, we're going to the late 80s, early 90s. And if you've been around, remember the Screaming Eagle? I had one of those way back in the day. I had a bear, and then I had a Screaming Eagle. And they were I think that was the first one I had that had a double bend in it. It had the dual arms, whatever it was, if I remember right. I think it was a Screaming Eagle with a 60 or 80-pound drawer on it. All right, let's do a little highlighting. So let's see if... Oh, that always... Start highlighting different parts of the body. Yeah, I always sweat it when I send paintings. And I have a whole bunch to send out to Gary. And for that couple of days, I'm just sweating. Because filing those claims is really a problem. Even when you insure it for a certain amount, they get really to be a pain about it. We had him destroy a motorcycle once. And that was not fun. You know, I don't think UPS to FedEx, it's not any worse than the other. And they all, it's really luck of the draw. Yeah, the white really just makes this fun. Gonna find an inside curve. There we go. Nope. There we go, right here. I had one I set up. Luckily, they were just test panels, and it wasn't. It was test panels for a paint job we were doing, so it wasn't super critical. And man, the paintings were like bent, all sorts of places. It was horrible. Yeah, the white really, when it comes to cartoon work style, the white really is what makes everything kind of pop. Add a little white texture in here in the eyes. So Tyler, I think I didn't see any other bids. Were there any other bids I missed, or is it still Tyler? So I was trying to think of a pinstriping color, but if it's going to Tyler, I think Tyler needs to put his own pinstriping taste on this. If he wants to, if he's up for that. Hi, Kyle. Kyle. Sorry, have it. Yeah, it is cool when it starts to come together, because I was ready to throw in the towel a little bit ago, actually. A little reflection there. We got a house snow. Yeah, it needs a good old school Starburst. Put the tape super close together. It's gonna come right through. Got to have the old school Starburst. Stars. Oh, Tyler's not responding. Gary ups the bid. Oh, you didn't see Tyler's comment. I'll have to look back because I didn't see either. What did Tyler say? I gotta scroll back now. Gotta make sure, because it says something about striping. Killer. Yeah, he's been on. Oh, okay, yeah. All right, Tyler's at 150. Awesome. Let's lock it there. I want to see Tyler's stripe it. And that'll be cool. That'll be cool. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Since Tyler came up with the idea to begin with. Yeah. And that way I don't have another pain to send to Gary, because I got to get all yours out. Cool. All right. 150 is cool. That's awesome for me. Go there. Now, what I want to do is I just want to play with this idea a little bit. Where are they? What do I do with them? Aha! I'm going to try the Sharpies. So we're going to try the white. I'm just going to boom, boom. There we go. We'll make those a little brighter. And then there we go. This is a lime green. Just feathers. Yeah, just a couple little tricks, something different. I've used Posca markers and paint markers before, and I like that bold kind of hit that they give, especially on these more cartoon type pieces. Kind of brings it into that almost a pinstripey feel for me. $20.25. Do you have? Yeah, he's got quite a few coming. Yeah, we do PayPal. We can talk after, Tyler. Just message me online and we'll get that all squared away. Just for the blue shadow, darken that a little bit. And then I want to see what you do for a stripe. I don't like that right there. Let me do this. Get that a little whiter up top. Yeah. All right, let's pull the tape and let's take a look at her. Simple, fun little project. Two hours, start to finish. No plot. Hand cut and freehand. Nothing but net. Oops. Nice. I think that works pretty good. That looks pretty cool overall. I like it. I dig it. That was a fun Thursday night. First of the winter season, holiday, Christmas season live feed. Little old school flying eyeball. And it's going to a good home. Thank you, Tyler, for the idea. I'm glad you got it. And I want to thank everyone for popping in. Got to get some better ideas. Not better. I got to get some ideas for next week. Although Thursday... Oh, you know, Thursday's good. Yeah, are we doing... I should be able to do a live feed next Thursday, no problem. I'll keep you all posted online. Maybe I'll look back to some other ideas and see what comes out of that. And we'll try to get one or two more before the year's out. So everyone have a great weekend coming up. Happy and safe and all that jazz. And I'll see you all next week on Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks. Have a good one.